This is going to be the attachment and explosives tier list coming in hot. Coming in real hot and spicy, sexy for you guys. All right, guys. So, yeah. So, attachment and equipment tier list for anyone who's curious. So, first and foremost, we'll just go through as we go through this. So, Hera CQR Front. So, let's go into the shooting range real fast so you can see exactly what the numbers are. Because there's an important thing to remember in this game. There's only 3 things that matter in this game. Movement speed, reload speed, and horizontal recoil. Only things that matter in this video game. So, taking a quick gander at this Hera CQR Front. Aim down time, stat doesn't matter. Draw speed, stat doesn't matter. So, that attachment right here, D. Doesn't matter tier. All right, now we got the B25 Urk. The universal best attachment. You can never go wrong putting this thing on. Look, let's take a quick look for anyone who doesn't know. Urk, bam. Wait, hold on. Not only does it get rid of horizontal and vertical recoil, first shot kick is a myth. Who cares? Just pull down. Look at that reload time. Minus 0.34. And so the way that the attachments work in this game is percentile based. So the longer the reload, the more impactful it'll be. And now its only downside is it does take away 0.01 run speed, but it is what it is. We live with it. Triple S speed tier. Draw speed does matter, but you can cancel draw speed by clicking A and D when you're pulling out your weapon. So there is mechanical tech you can do to limit the draw speed effect. I do agree that it does matter, but it doesn't matter that much. I don't think it matters as much as anything else. Yeah, tapping A and D lets you ADS faster and draw speed faster. Yeah, at least when coming out of sprint. I don't know if out of neutral or out of prone or while jumping, but when coming out of sprint, tapping A and D lets you ADS faster and lets you draw faster. All right. Scorpion, it matters. Okay, I could believe that. But are you taking this? Are you taking draw speed over vertical recoil on a Scorpion? All right, now let's go to the VTAC UVG, whatever the hell whatever this is saying. So VTAC UVG grip, all things considered, it's a little silly. Gets rid of first shot kick if that's an issue for you, and very little vertical recoil. Let's take a hard look at the Scorpion right now and see. This is, like I said, it's percentage based. So this is the highest vertical recoil gun of the game. So let's see what happens when we throw it on this. So it gets rid of 0.13, which, it's really not much. It doesn't give you any movement speed. That's the only thing it really has going for it. But unfortunately, it's going into the doesn't matter tier. Now, short. See, theoretically speaking, short should be sitting right here or right here. There was one patch in particular where you could go over to this beautiful gun right here, the FAL, and you could put this short mag on, and then you got this movement speed 1.15. There was one patch and one patch only where you actually got this movement speed. If this was still the case, this would be a triple S tier attachment. The FAL is the only gun, and the MP5. The MP5 short mag still does work, so it's good for the MP5, but only for the MP5. Unfortunately, this run speed is actually 1.05 because there's a hidden multiplier. Some people say there isn't. I truly believe there is. There's a hidden multiplier when using assault rifles, battle rifles, carbines that makes it not be the true movement speed that you get with an SMG or a personal defense weapon. This was the greatest thing in the world, but unfortunately it doesn't give you the true movement speed. But a gun it does work on is the MP5. So MP5 right here, you can short mag the MP5 and you actually do get 1.13. Attachments give 0.5x movement speed. That is true where putting an attachment on does do that. But if you look, zoom in the foreign, zoom in the foreign, zoom in the foreign, zoom in the foreign. Absolutely zoom in the foreign. It's a beautiful thing. But unfortunately on the FAL, it's just not doing it. But because of that, just because it works on this gun and this gun only, you know what? I'm still going to put it in S tier because it does work on one gun at least. And being fast is the best. Now, quick A, triple S tier. Honestly, above the Urk. There's never going to be a time where you don't want a quick mag. Reload speed is the most important thing in this game. Always has been, always will be. You literally just have to put it on. The downsides are never really that bad. The only gun that maybe you don't put it on is a FAL because it reloads so fast already with an Urk. But almost in every situation, you're using a quick mag. Right here, you know, the AUG is the best example. The quick mag makes it go from 2.83 to 2.36. And this doesn't also, it also scales with the drop reload, which is what you should always be doing, you know, so triple S tier. Extended. Now, there's extended A and there's extended B. Extended B is bugged on most things. Extended makes you slow. It does make you slow, but there's some guns where it's worth it. Yeah, it's an A tier attachment. It's definitely an A tier attachment. Because, like, I was recently put onto the FAMAS with an extended mag. It is very nice. You know, it does hit you hard. Minus 0.15 movement speed. But the guns you're putting this on, you're already going to be playing a turret role. Another gun that I think it's slept on heavily is the AK-15 and the AK-74. You can run both of these with an extended. I think in both cases, the quick mag's better. But if you're a turret gamer, it's definitely worth it for turret gaming. And a neat little trick, if you didn't know, so even though the reload speed is long, if you do a drop reload, the amount of time it takes to reload, it's faster to pick up your mag while drop reloading than regular reloading. So always drop reload with extended mags. You can pick up the entire mag before the reload animation's done. So just keep that in mind. Always drop reload, no matter the situation you're in, you know? I spent literally the entire first month of this game using AK-74 extended mag. The first time I broke someone's ankles with an AK-74 extended mag. So yes, you are slow, but it works. And you get so many bullets. Easy squad wipes without having to worry about anything. Alright. Bipod. You know what? To be honest, if you're not very good and you play prone a lot, this is a double S tier attachment. It is. It's a cringe attachment. But if you're not good and you like to go prone, it makes any gun in this game a laser with no matter what you put on it. So, like, the things you can do once you're bipoded up are kind of crazy. It's obviously for a play style that you need to like, but if it's a play style you like, it's a play style you like. So we're just going to go just with the bipod with the 4X or an M249. So bam, once you see that little bipod symbol on your bottom next to your bar, we're Willy beaming. We're Willy beaming. And to put that into perspective, this is a 4X scope. This is what the recoil is like normally. But now that we're bipoded, it literally is cutting it more than in half. 97 meters, M249. You still need to pull down, obviously, and this is the most radical case. This is a 4X scope. No bipod attachment. Bipod it up. So it makes a big deal. And especially if you're using a 20X sniper, it's the only way to use the 20X scope. It's the only way to use a 20X scope. Ranger barrel. This used to be triple S tier. Now it literally, it's only good on very low velocity snipers since it doesn't give bonus damage. Ranger barrel used to let you one-shot exo helmets, and it should still do that, but it doesn't because the developers are haha funny. So it is what it is. B tier. It just makes the gun sound a little bit deeper, and it does give bonus velocity, but unless it's only really worth it, I think, on the SSG. All right, next we have the repair tool. So there was a glorious patch where this was triple S because it would give you 10k XP per second, but unfortunately it doesn't now. But if you're an engineer, it's still a great tool, or if you're in a helicopter, it's still very useful. If you want to be a team player, this is A tier for team players. Yes, the incident that lasted 2.5 months, of course. All right, now we're talking RPG frag. This is a pure meme, and it's absolutely trash. We're putting it in C tier. You would think that the fragmentation RPG would be good against infantry, but unfortunately, it just makes people bleed. And if you do a direct hit, I believe it only does like 85 damage. So it's pretty haha poo-poo. So direct hitting, the only thing it does is it does have a big blast radius and it procs bleed on everyone. Unfortunately, the game's not going to tell me how much damage that just did, so you're just going to have to trust me that it only does 85 damage. Now, RPG Pogo 7 Heat Explosive, Triple S. If you're going to use an RPG as a shotgun, this is as good as it gets. One-shot kill, obviously, can kill multiple people, is what it is. RPG Tandem, Single S. Very good. It's Triple S at destroying vehicles, but its overall use, Single S. And it can be a little tricky to use as a small skill curve, but you will destroy all tanks, and every single tank player in the game complains about this and says it's overpowered. So that should tell you how good it is. Advanced binoculars, doesn't matter, pure role-playing thing. Haha, funny. Anti-personnel mine, A tier. This will mostly be used only to kill your own teammates. But, you know, you could put it on drones, you could put it on stairs, and you could piss off aggressive players by putting it in dumb places. I believe everyone in the top 100, probably 99% of their deaths are to anti-personnel mines. Most, like that's the thing that probably kills them the most in the game. But more often than not, this anti-personnel mine will be used by the enemy team to team kill your whole team, because no one puts them in good places. Now, anti-vehicle mine. There was a point in time where this could be used to destroy every building in the game very fast. It doesn't anymore. Honestly, C tier, you can do the classic Battlefield tech of sneaking up behind a tank, dropping an anti-vehicle mine, shooting it, and one-shotting a tank with it. That's about its only value, but they don't really submerge or get hidden well in roads. And yeah, they're just unfortunately not used much because people don't really use vehicles adequately. C4, Triple S tier, as good as it gets. It doesn't work well. It's buggy. It's inconsistent, but it's still the greatest piece of equipment you can have in the game. You know, work your way through buildings, kill clumps of people, kill yourself. You know, the options are limited and unlimited. Blow up tanks, you know, whatever you want to do. Yeah, this would be in its own tier above every single thing else if the animations weren't client-sided, and if it was and wasn't ping dependent as well, with both things combined. But it's still as good as it gets. Claymore, we're putting you right next to the AP mine. Actually, we're putting you one lower because Claymores, you can kind of do silly things with dodging the wires, and so you can put Claymores to watch your flank, but a good player can not blow up the Claymore and dodge your wires and flank you, and you'll be like, oh my god, what happened? I didn't hear anything go boom. And, you know, it's because of the way the wires are. It only trips if you hit a wire. So if the wires aren't placed properly, you could prone under it, jump over it, etc., etc. So we'll put it there. In same situation, more often than not, this is just going to be used to kill your teammates than to kill enemies. Suicide C4. Single S tier. It's a great way to make people angry. It's a great way to outskill and outplay your opponent. You could be revived after you use it because, haha, funny. Yeah, you know, it speaks for itself. Anti-vehicle grenades, C tier, because why? Yeah, you could use them to blow up a vehicle, but why? Once again, why? Flares. Flares I would put in doesn't matter, but I'm going to put in C tier because primarily flares are used just to grief people on night maps and make them go blind with their night vision goggles. But if you throw a flare on a smoke, it will kill the smoke. Within, like, so if a fresh smoke is popped and you throw a flare right onto it, within 3 seconds or 5 seconds, the smoke dissipates immediately. This is actually the only counterplay to smoke grenades, but the problem is smokes are annoying, but you would still almost always rather have grenades. This is really just the I hate smokes moment if you're pulling this out. Flashbangs, they team flash. If they didn't team flash, they would be like Triple S. But honestly, they're still Double S because they're really good. They're really good at griefing, and like if you ever coordinated and played tactically in any way at all, flashbangs in this game are too strong because they don't need to be on your screen to full flash you. You have an extended FOV when it comes to flashbangs. So you can get flashed, like, where was the flash that flashed me? It's above my head. Why is it full flashing me? Because haha, funny. So unless you are hard turned and it's on your back, you're almost always going to get full flashed by a flashbang. Frag grenades, Triple S, just, you know, it is what it is. You know, Spawn in support. Throw 20. Little 20 grenades whenever you want. It is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Chuck, 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 chuck. You can infinitely cook. So if you're angry, you can spawn and just hold it. So there's nothing to worry about where overcooking a grenade and killing yourself. You just run around with holding the pin the whole time. Impact grenades, I find them very buggy, but I have been shit on by them a lot. So I'll put that in the single S because they are good. They are like quick C4s. I'm just unlucky with them, and I also think they suffer the same problem as C4, where it's a client-side, server-side issue, where it looks like you're hitting the nade, but you're not because of ping and stuff. But they are very easy to use, and they're very effective at killing people. The only problem is kind of like a small blast radius, but it is a get-out-of-jail-free card. All right, all the smoke grenades, double S. Same thing as flashbangs. If you played tactically and you played good, holy, these would be so good. And people use them the way that they should be used. Unfortunately, they aren't. But in theory, they're so good. Unfortunately, they just get used to grief people and block the entire line of sight and make the game unplayable in infantry game modes. But after their buff, they are incredibly good. Before they got buffed, they used to only be good because you could throw one at your feet and you could see through it and use it as a one-way smoke. You can't one-way smoke with them really anymore, but you can use them to actually block sight lines. They do their job. Yeah, people mostly only smoke their own teammates. People aren't smart with them. You get way too many of them. You die and get another one. You can throw out more without your old ones going away. Like, one player can theoretically throw out 20 smokes and have all 20 be active at the same time, which I think needs to be limited. It needs to be reworked where if you keep throwing smokes, your old smokes immediately fade. Something like that. I don't know. They do need to be rebalanced. But as they are very good. Air drone. So this is tricky. It is kind of doesn't matter, but like, yeah, you could suicide drone, and it's the same thing where if you are playing tactically, this is very useful. It is a UAV, even though the UAV aspects got removed. But if everyone's on the mic and you're LARPing hard, this is very good. And suicide droning is an effective way to get kills on clumps if you're not good at the game. Grappling hook. We're also going to put this in A tier. It is very useful. You could do cool stuff with momentum jumps with it too. If you want to get fancy, it's nice for climbing up things, traversing the map. The problem is though, it's like if you're taking this, you're not like the only time that you're 100% taking this kind is if you're playing sniper. You're taking air drone or grappling hook. On assault, you're mostly taking an ammo kit or a sledgehammer. Oh yeah, pickaxe, triple S, sledgehammer, triple X. Actually, double S for pickaxe, just because pickaxe isn't as good at breaking holes in walls. Pickaxe just gives you that single little peek through, but it does one shot the grates on windows still, so that's good. And killing people with this is always a great flex and a great way to demoralize the enemy. Sledgehammer we're putting above because sledgehammer you can traverse through buildings smoother than with a pickaxe. SoFlam binoculars. So these are binoculars that will give you a sniper glint. Also in doesn't matter. The MDX, the thing that gives fake sniper glint, also in doesn't matter. Heavy ammo kit, triple S. Heavy ammo kit's pretty crazy. You get 5 grenades out of it. You get 5 bandages out of it. You get infinite ammo out of it. And you get 5 equipment, so you could get 5 C4s out of it. Pickaxe does have a better feeling when killing people, but it also has an easier hitbox when meleeing as well. It has both of those things combined. But sledgehammer is it's hard to use to move through buildings because it makes you only those cringe sniper peek holes. It gives you rainbow 6 holes. It doesn't give you big holes that you can traverse through. So that's the only reason why I'm putting it below. But as a melee weapon, it is a better melee weapon than the sledgehammer. I could believe that the iron pickaxe is harder to hit people with because every skin in this game is actually, for the pickaxes and sledgehammers, are actually coded as a different weapon. So if you have a sledgehammer or pickaxe kill challenge on the weekly and you're using a skinned version, it won't work. So you have to use the default version. So I do believe that they probably do have different hit reg and different things. Can't confirm because I'm not experienced enough, but I do believe that 100%. Small ammo kit. You know, it's a fun thing to use only on assault. This is the only class that would ever use it. But I do think sledgehammer does outweigh it a little bit, but I will still take it. If it gave one more bandage, I would move it up one. But unfortunately, you only get 2 bandages out of it. So kind of whatever. Smoke grenade launcher could be really good, but unfortunately, like on medic, I believe is the only class that you would run this on. And the thing is, it's not better than C4. But in a LARP aspect, it could be really nice because the smokes are instant. But with how good the new smoke grenades are, it's kind of just sitting there in B tier. Riot shields, haha, funny. C tier. It doesn't matter, but it's really close to not mattering. You can LARP and make some plays with it, but the fact that you can still get C4'd when you have it up and it's a little buggy. The best thing the Riot Shield has going for it is that it doesn't render in at far distances if your render distance isn't on maximum. So you can see a guy just slow walking and thinking that he's just like, why can't I hit him? It's because he has a Riot Shield up and it's not rendering in for you. Basic. Honestly, basics C tier. It's not and doesn't matter because it is good because it's the first attachment you get on every gun. So like every gun you get, your first attachment's basic. And it gives you a little bit of velocity and it gets rid of first shot kick. So like for nothing. It's honestly not bad. Like it's a great first attachment to get. You always should throw it on as soon as you unlock it. No reason not to. The downsides are literally for muzzle flash, which unless you're using an SSG, muzzle flash does not matter at all. Compensator, same idea. You get it early. You can use it if you want, if you struggle with stuff. Unfortunately, heavy barrel and long barrel do not matter anymore because the game is funny and they still make that both of these barrels reduce your movement speed while giving you no real benefits. So yeah, you put this on. Oh man. Wait, hold on, let's take this off so you can see exactly how much. You're losing 0.03 movement speed for nothing. And this 1.02 just for some bonus velocity, which you can get already from suppressors. So what's the point? So they used to give bonus damage, so that's what made them good and viable on certain guns, but now they're useless. Muzzle brake doesn't matter. Tactical. Tactical had a place where it was kind of good for a bit. Unfortunately now it's kind of whatever. So it gets rid of some vertical and some horizontal, but then look at all those negatives. You're losing velocity, which is big. You're losing accuracy, which is a made-up thing. Accuracy in this game's bloom. It doesn't really affect too much. And sound spread, like it's really mid. It used to be so good. You used to run this on like I think everyone ran this on like the UMP and the P90, but after the rework, it's kind of terrible now. So unfortunately, we're putting you in doesn't matter. Flash hider, triple S tier. So remember those three things we talked about earlier that mattered: reload speed, movement speed, and horizontal recoil. Horizontal recoil in this game is a made-up thing that your gun will randomly kick left or right. It's not predictable and it doesn't go in the same place. Two different sprays. But what does the flash hider do? It gets rid of a lot of horizontal recoil. So every single battle rifle, it's a must-run attachment for the barrel if you want to make your battle rifle experience way better. Does it increase vertical recoil? Yes, but vertical recoil is controllable. Just pull down, forehead. Just pull down. So yeah, it's literally a must-have on every single BR. It's way too good. It's what makes every battle rifle viable. And if you're ever feeling that horizontal recoil is too much on any gun, just throw a flash hider on it. Easiest fix, triple S just off of that alone. All right, next we have the D-Gen barrel. Doesn't do anything good. Minus 0.16 vert recoil, really not worth it. Doesn't matter. All right, next we have the VAM. Now the VAM is interesting because it does get rid of a lot of vertical recoil. It does get rid of a lot of vertical recoil. And you'd be like, well, you just said vertical recoil doesn't matter because you could just pull down. Well, now here's why vertical recoil does kind of matter a little is when you start doing silly stuff like this. So you go to a gun like... Go with a gun like, let's say, the F2000, all right? And then you're getting silly, and you do something like throwing this 3.4x scope on it. So... Now this is getting silly, but it is practical for certain spots on that. So yeah, I can kind of control it, whatever. You know, it's kicking a little here and there, but it is controllable. You know, 86, 86, 86, 86. But now let's take that and let's throw this VAM on here. And now this thing is just straight Willy beaming. So if you like to use ACOG scopes on ARs and you're wondering how sometimes you feel like someone's beaming you across the map with an AR full auto, this is why. So the way that this game works is the more magnification you have, the more magnification your gun has, the more it multiplies the stat, like the recoil stat. So even when something has very low recoil, once you put a 3x on it, it's tripling that recoil. So now lowering it kind of becomes viable. So on guns like this, guns like the AUG, guns like the FAMAS, ACR, G36, you could start using them to fight like the long range battles. So, you know, we'll throw that shit into A tier. The SDN 6, this is the built-in subsonic suppressor, right? Yeah, this is it's really, it doesn't matter. Does it make a gun sound cool? I don't remember. No, it doesn't even make the gun sound cool. So it doesn't matter. Now NT barrel is the same thing. So I am a true believer that this NT barrel is incredibly bugged right now. And I will show you why. The NT barrel I actually think is very bugged. Yeah, it is incredibly goated right now. Yes, it is incredibly goated. So it says that it's only getting rid of that little vertical recoil and first shot kick. But let's just do this with a slip. Deploy. I'm not pulling down at all. That's just what the recoil looks like without the NT barrel. Yeah, the NT is very, very good. I use the NT on all my assault rifles. So it does the same thing. So it's actually insane. It's taking off more vertical recoil than the game says it is. I'm not pulling down at all. It doesn't make any sense. It feels like it's giving the gun extra velocity. I truly believe that this attachment's actually bugged. I do not think that the numbers are true that they say it has, because that previous barrel we were talking about, it does more reduction than this, but it doesn't feel like it. So the VAM does even more vertical reduction. See, we didn't get to the top of the sign with the NT. We were getting just to the T on tutorial. So even though this technically does more vertical reduction, the bullets feel like they're coming out slower. But I have to pull down so much more. The NT, it's just you don't really pull down at all. So I don't know what it is, but the NT feels very good. It's giving more than the numbers say. So I put this in double S, to be honest. If you want to run like a great loadout that you could do that's really fun and really silly is, yeah, the NT I think is definitely bugged. There's something very bugged with it. But you could do something like this. And it gets very silly and very fun. Yeah, the NT was not like this before. At all. So, guns like the ACR, AUG, F2000, FAMAS, you throw an NT barrel on it, and then you could throw one of these gigascopes. And then you're really just letting it fly. So you, like, and obviously at like 50 meters, you're chilling. You're not missing any shots. So it does feel like there's not much scope diversity in this game, but once you use this NT barrel on assault rifles, at least your options are there. You can use different scopes. Yeah, at the ACR, it's really good. ACR, FAMAS, F2000, and G36. All guns that I think it's very good on. And it lets you use all the ACOG scopes and still go full on. Alright, long suppressor. B tier. It's good if you don't care about movement speed. Its only downside on the long suppressor is the movement speed reduction. Because all the stats it gives are really good. But minus 0.2, because this sight's making me lose 0.1. So that is unfortunate, because you, especially when you're using like any gun really, that it's not nice losing this much speed. But it does give more velocity, and velocity is always nice. I do like running this on snipers because you're already slow with the sniper, so why not? And then getting that little bonus velocity is nice, and it changes the way your gun sounds, which is always nice. But outside of snipers, don't think it's worth it. Maybe on support weapons as well, like LMGs, it's fine. I can see that working as well. All right. Short suppressor. Triple S. You're basically using this on anything that you're not using an NT barrel or a flash hider. No movement speed reduction. You're still getting bonus velocity, and then you're getting the sound change. Some bonus vertical whatever, draw speed whatever, but it makes every gun in the game sound way cooler. Look how cool that sounds. Every gun in the game sounds better with the suppressor. Every single one. Every gun sounds better with the suppressor. So yeah, if you're not using an NT or you're not using a flash hider, I always recommend this. Just sounds too good. Long is definitely better if you don't care about movement speed. Long is 100% better statistically speaking, but then you lose the movement speed. And I just feel like the movement speed, because of the way that certain jumps work and how jumps are tied to being a certain movement speed, not being able to hit certain jumps or certain jumps becoming long mantles instead of quick mantles. Like, don't get me wrong, you could definitely be very good and still use the long. I just think overall it's better to have the short. But the stats on the long are way better. And if you don't care about movement speed at all, 100% take the long over it. Flashlight, it should be and doesn't matter, but you know, you can grief people, night maps, whatever, it works. Rangefinder should be and doesn't matter, but people are bad, so I'll put it in B. If you're bad at sniping and you like to zero or whatever, well, I don't want to say bad at sniping. If you just like zeroing your snipers, I don't personally like doing that. But if you do like that, then the rangefinder is actually a very good attachment. You see their exact range, you zero your sniper, chilling. I just don't find sniping fun like that, so I don't do that. Red laser, it can work. You see it on your screen. It does help with hip fire to an extent, especially when mantle hip firing. But most side rail attachments are really useless. Tactical flashlight's better than regular flashlight, I guess, but oh no, this is green laser. Green laser, same thing. Red laser, actually it's better because the green laser is like thicker and easier to use. The red laser is kind of faint. I do believe that the next patch coming out is going to make the lasers better. That's something that they've said, so we'll see that. I'm just putting all the flashlights together here. Actually, searchlight is the best flashlight because you can manually toggle it, and it's also very obnoxious, so we'll put that there. All right, now we have the angled grip, which is not the short angle grip, I'm pretty sure, so I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter, but we'll double check just to make sure. Angled, yeah, aim down time, draw speed, literally doesn't matter. Vertical grip, B tier. Pretty sure this gets rid of the most vertical recoil out of anything. Let's go back to the Scorpion just to test, just to make sure. Vertical, no, wait, where's vertical? Yeah, vertical minus 0.54. So like Scorpion's basically the only gun I think you'd ever run this on. I still think you're going to take the vertical skeleton grip over it, maybe? No. No, yeah, I think you'd take this. I know I know the person with the most Scorpion kills in the game uses this for the reload speed, but I didn't even know this actually gave you more vertical recoil. That's interesting. But yeah. So vertical grip, B tier. It does serve a purpose. Stubby grip, also B tier. Stubby grip is very good and you get it very early. It gets rid of a lot of vertical recoil. No movement speed reductions. So if you do have recoil problems, stubby grip's nice until you get something for faster reloads. Stable grip, doesn't matter. This is just for first shot kick. The only time maybe you're using this is on a DMR if you're spamming and you're really overwhelmed by the first shot kick, but really not worth it. Vertical skeleton grip, A tier. Why A tier? Because reload time, but you're not losing any movement speed like you do with the Urk. The Urk, you lose 0.1, you lose nothing with this. So you're chilling. You get the draw speed, you get the aim down time. But yeah, anything that gives you reload speed is automatically minimum A tier. The Fab literally doesn't matter. Mag pool angled, I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter as well. Yeah, this is actually like might be the worst attachment. Barely gets rid of anything, and then you still lose 0.02 movement speed. It's kind of disgusting. BCM Gunfighter used to be very, very good because this used to also give you reload speed. But this is, I remember correctly, is the only underbarrel attachment that gets rid of the most horizontal recoil. So if you're really struggling with the FAL, a build you can do is BCM Gunfighter, Flash Hider, and no mag. So you still have a 3.37 reload speed, which is not bad at all, especially if you're playing Assault for fast reload. And look at that. Horizontal recoil is all the way down to 1.4. So if you really struggle with the FAL, this is a good build. This is the only gun I ever recommend using this on. If you are going to use it, you can even run the quick mag if you want, and you're still chilling. And then look, your reload time 2.65 with no Urk. 1.5. Honestly manageable. So manageable. The common build is this one right here. And then you're at 1.84 with less vertical, which is nice. But once you're at 1.8, it can be hard to like full spray. So this used to be a really good build when it gave you reload speed, but unfortunately it doesn't do that anymore. But because of that, it does matter, and I'll put it in B tier. This is literally just for guns with a very high vertical recoil. All right, shift angle short grip, double S. This is the other option besides the Urk. Does nothing, but it does do your aim down time, draw speed, reload time. Oh yeah, and it does a lot of draw speed. So the big thing about draw speed is draw speed also impacts how fast you pull out things like C4, medkits, bandages. I don't think it impacts how fast you pull out your pistols, but it does do bandages, C4, medkits. So if you're swapping a lot to things, this can be very useful. So I run this on almost all my SMGs so I don't lose any movement speed. The only exception is the Vector. The Vector I run the Urk on. But yeah, this is incredibly good for that. And it does do solid stats for reload speed. It does like, I think 5% reload speed reduction while the Urk is 10%. So yeah, it's definitely super solid. All right, and then what are our last two things? The SE5 and the RKX4 grip. SE5, like, okay, gets rid of some vertical. It basically is doing what the Urk does, but not giving you the Urk's reload speed benefit. It's actually giving you more reload time. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Yeah, it's giving you more reload time and more movement speed reduction. So, I don't know. Because, like, it's literally just, it does double the vertical and horizontal reduction than the Urk. Actually, it doesn't affect your running speed. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, but it's like C tier. I would never use it, but if you want to use it, it looks like it's giving you 5% reduction or 10% reduction or something. All right, and then last we have this RK4 grip. Yeah, this doesn't matter. There's literally 1,000 things better than this. All right. Yo, as I was editing this, I realized that the list did not have trophy systems or the target detector. So just wanted to quickly say trophy systems, easy double S. C4 is the only gadget probably better than it that you would take. Trophy, take out all types of nades. They're super important on maps like Wakistan, Namak, any map where you feel like there's nade spams happening. The team with more trophy systems normally will automatically win just off of that. Trophy system roulette, super real, and you always want to be on the winning side of that. And then target detector, triple S tier, because it's the only side rail attachment that's actually good. You stare at someone for 2 seconds, then it marks them for 2 seconds. And you might be thinking, oh, like, how's that useful? I'm just going to be up close. When you're like spraying at people that are prone from a long distance away, like in grass, it'll put a red chevron. That red chevron on their head will let you know where to keep spraying at. So even if you can't see them, now that they're marked, you just spray at the mark. Makes life so much easier. And also when you use it on a sniper, recons like has a passive where anyone they mark lasts like twice as long. So it's a great way to mark snipers that are trying to head glitch and like mess with you when you're sniping. So yeah, this is like the real actual finalized list right here. All right. There you go. Attachments and gadgets, tier list, haha funny. So yeah, it's not law or anything, but through my 1,238 hours of gameplay, this is what I feel works and what's good. And yeah. All right. GG's.
Yeah, how did he does it? Stuck in them mixed feels, yeah, cause I love it.